Exposing the lies, helping people make better decisions, make millions of dollars running your own business. Today, I'm going to teach you why that is almost always a scam, particularly when it comes to MLMs or multi-level marketing. Hey girl, welcome back to Glam Life by Meg, where I teach you how to efficiently and glamorously live your very best life. Say hi in the comments if you're new here. It's nice to virtually meet you. Before we get to the good stuff, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And don't forget to ring that bell so that you can be notified every single time that I post a video. Today is the second episode in my MLM series where we research, we talk to people, we get testimonials, and we figure out what exactly is going on with this business structure. If you need to catch up, here's the first video. Go watch that and then come back here so that you're all filled in. At this point, you know what multi-level marketing is and you want to know what is going on. I've had so many people messaging me saying, why is it that these MLMers are taking advantage of people, especially during times like this or these uncertain times? They are preying on people who are in vulnerable groups and telling them that they need to spend their stimulus check investing in this type of business so that they can make their own money and run their own business. MLMs, from my experience, are always preying on the most vulnerable groups of people. I will link to the One Big Happy Life video where their daughter, who had just turned 18, was being roped into one of these scams, and you can learn from their experience as well. Regardless of what times we're in, they are preying on young adults, especially late high school, early college age, single moms, stay-at-home moms, members of communities who are specifically in areas that aren't as well off. Women specifically, young women, older women, they like to sell the idea of you becoming a girl boss. If they know you're a part of a group that generally struggles financially, and yes, this can even become a racial issue, where they target specific groups of people based on stereotypes, the color of their skin, their gender, their age, it gets dicey, to say the least. If you are in any of these groups of people, they're coming for you. So my question is this every MLM? Are there some that maybe don't do this and we just hear from those who are the very loudest? I went and interviewed different people on both sides of this issue, and I will include those interviews here. First, we are going to talk to Megan. Not me, Megan, other Megan. She has had multiple experiences with MLMs in a negative way, talking about how they take advantage of different groups of people. Well, hello and thank you. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people and tell them what we're going to talk about today?
Hi, so I am Megan and I am 28, and so we're going to be talking about my stance on MLMs, which I am quite passionate about, thank goodness. I personally have had, I'd say, no positive experiences with any interaction I've ever had, be it observational or personal, with MLMs, or what I like to call them, pyramid schemes. So I've had many experiences with them. Thankfully, nobody in my immediate family, but in the professional world, because I do work for a Fortune 500 company, we encounter them a lot, and it is very uncomfortable when it happens. So I have multiple examples, but one that comes to mind immediately is in my work. I am part of a couple of networking groups. Now, when I say networking group, I'm talking, we typically work with accountants, business insurance professionals, things like that. Every once in a while, we'll get one of these MLMers that comes in the group, and we have to treat them the exact same way, but they are not really businesses, because anytime we go to have a meeting to meet with them to learn about their business and what they do, it ends up turning into a pitch where they're trying to convince me to become a salesperson for their company. Right. And the nutty part about it is they're never upfront with it. It's never, hey, I work for this company, we sell this suite of products, I think that it would be really cool to show you my products and show you what we do. It's more like, hey, you want to learn, meet with us and learn about how we can help you make extra money on the side. And I see that you're a strapping young lady and you would be great fit for whatever I'm doing. Let's set up a meeting. And then you get to the meeting and then it's like you're ambushed by these people. And they're like, you're sitting there thinking you're going to have, like, you're like, hi, and you're thinking you're going to have a conversation with maybe a professional, and it's really like some like stay-at-home mom, which I have no problem with. You want to stay-at-home mom? Go for it, girly. Right. Well, it's like stay-at-home mom who's like, I'm going to help you make side money. And I'm like, this isn't what I'm here for. So what product do you sell? And maybe like 3/4 of a way into their pitch, you find out, oh, and I work for, you know, like, I don't know, It Works, or, you know, like oh God, there's so many of them.
I know. I mean, like, Amway, Arbonne,
Milaluka, Amway. Oh God.
Someone approached you at your job while you're on the clock, kind of thing.
Yeah, so my first real job, adult job, like outside of minimum wage, I worked as a part-time teller, and we had a leader, I'll name it, specifically from Amway, in our area, and she would come in and she would always try to say, hey, you should come to our meeting. You know, I'm always looking for smart, driven young women like yourself to work with us, and we make lots of money. I make thousands of dollars per week. All the while, as a part-time teller, I'm literally looking at her maxed out credit card and her empty checking account and savings account. Right. And the transactions that she was coming in and doing, she was making like a minimum payment on that credit card every couple of days. Like, it was maxed out, and she would come in, like, I think the limit was like, I'll never forget it. The limit was $19,000, and she would just like pay enough to keep it below the limit. Right. And I'm like, you're trying to encourage me to come, you know, do this Amway. And first of all, what does Amway even sell? What do they even do? We don't know. We just know that she wants us to come to this meeting because she's looking for driven young professionals who have lots of credit card space. Right. The other time, I think you'll see this one even more, how uncomfortable it was. So I was, again, still a teller. I was at a different branch. An older woman, so probably in her maybe like 60s, you know, approached me and said, hey, I'm working on this amazing small business with my son, and I think that I would really love to talk to you about it. You know, I love the conversation that we had the other day. You know, I'd answered some questions about her finances and made some, you know, suggestions. She said, I'll take you out for lunch. When do you go to lunch? And I'm like, okay, great. So we went across the street and we had lunch together for what I thought was going to be maybe her and her son had a legitimate business. No, she comes in and she has a bag of energy drinks. I'm not even making this up. We're sitting at the table, and it is the most uncomfortable thing because this woman has now just purchased lunch. Granted, it was only Chick-fil-A, but she's like expecting me to, like, you know, be excited about this. And I'm like, I think I was so uncomfortable. I hardly talked the rest of the time, which is fine because typically these types of people, they just like to talk about, you know, the company. And It's never really about the product. It's always about, you need to join our sales team. You know, you'd be a great fit. How would you feel about making $500 extra a month or whatever their pitch is? It's never about the product. The product comes in as like and we sell these products too. It's like,
kind of crazy because everything that's coming out of your mouth is almost exactly mirroring multiple situations that have happened to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to keep my journalistic integrity. But when I get these, I have people sharing these stories with me, and it's almost exactly the same. It might be a different face, it might be a different state even, and something like this just it happens. And like, someone buys you lunch and then you're like, you feel like weirdly obligated to them a little. It's like that just adds a whole other little awkward thing to it. Tell that story again, because I think it really needs to be said. And I know we messaged about it, but I think you need to say it for the people.
Yes, I will say it for the people. Okay. So I was with that woman. This was the same time that I had the shake. And we were having a one-to-one. We were talking about her business because of what I do. I could be helpful for her, some of the knowledge that I had. So she had a woman came in and she said, oh, excuse me, you know, I need to talk to her real quick. And I said, okay, no problem. So I pulled up my laptop and I was just working on my laptop and I was listening to the conversation. So the woman comes in and she's sitting down with the woman, and complete manner and everything was completely different to the way she had spoken to me. So the way she spoke to me was very direct, very like woman to woman. This one, you could tell she instantly snapped into sales mode. And she was saying, you need to bring these you need to start this. You need to bring the cash. We need to get you started as soon as possible. How are you going to make extra money to be able to help your mom if you can't get this started? If you bring the money to me right now, today, as soon as possible, we can get this kit started for you. And then you can be out there, feet on the ground and getting everything going. And it was so uncomfortable. And it made me like ill, because I was in a position where I couldn't exactly step in because it's not my place. Maybe that woman, even though, she was being targeted, maybe she was interested, don't know. But from an objective standpoint, she was getting her disability check. She did state that, I want to say the check was about $700 that she was going to be getting. If you're getting $700 and that's all you have to spend for the month, spending $200 of that on some random milkshake powders to try to sell to other people and being the person who tries to push them into doing that is absolutely disgusting. Sometimes there are instances where people you can trick people into doing things. That's obvious. We're humans.
Yeah.
Some people are more susceptible to that to others. We need to protect the people who are susceptible.
But currently we are in the middle of a global pandemic. And what I have been noticing and what I have been seeing are these people who are, oh, you're getting your $1,200 stimulus check. Well, you need to invest this many $100 into yourself and start your business and invest it in yourself. So I wanted to know more about your thoughts on that.
Oh, I've definitely been seeing it. I've seen more sponsored posts for MLMs like popping up on Instagram than ever before. And it's super sneaky because I don't remember if I sent it to you or if it was somebody else, but we were talking about how the posts that they make are completely ambiguous. So like the other day I saw a post and it was like a woman posing in yoga pants in front of her mailbox. And I was like, I wonder, because it was saying, just go into the mailbox to pick up my check. And I went to her Facebook and I went to her page and scrolled down. And sure enough, it was an MLM. And so she was advertising that and posting that to pull people in. And in the comment section, she was like, yeah, right now it's crucial that we make that extra money to help support our families because, my husband's without a job or whatever. They're playing into that fear and taking advantage of people in a vulnerable place. Because right now people are wanting to make the most of the income that they have. So if you play into that and say, you need to take this money right now, because people look up to influencers and they will take payment whatever way. They don't ask you, are you really in a financial place where you can do this?
So dicey. Oh my God, it's like making me hot and sweaty. Like I'm so passionate talking about this. It makes me so angry. Woo! I also interviewed my friend Gabby, who is a part of an MLM, but they specifically in their training talk about how they are not allowed to take advantage of people in these ways. All right, so my questions for you are in relation to how the recruitment process works. Like how was it for you? Like how did you get into this MLM that you're in?
Sure. So first off, I think that it's important to say that every company is so different, and I'm just personally speaking from my experience. So for me, I met a friend. I was teaching Zumba at my college, and she introduced me to the products. And for me, the products fit so well into what I was already doing. I'm a licensed Zumba instructor. I have my bachelor's degree in exercise science. I minored in nutrition. So the wellness industry was where I was at from the beginning. And so for me, the products really fit into where my passion was. And so I was like, sure, sign me up. And all that I had to do was pay a $52 fee. Then it bought my franchise. And then that's a fee that I have to pay once a year. And then also we get a website that customers can order off of. So that is a monthly cost. And right when you sign up, it's about $2 a month, I believe. And then I do think that it increases a little bit every level that you go up. But the increases, I cannot tell you. I do know that it's $2 a month, like right when you hop on. And then that was it. So after that, I just kind of decided what I wanted to do with my business. So it was, do I want to just have my own order and then get some kickback on like my purchases? Or do I want to, try to make this work and make more of an income. And so for me, I was in college, so I was like, let me just see if I can make more of an income. So it took me 2 or 3 months to climb 3 levels. And so each level, if you do it at a certain amount of time, you just get bonuses. And so for me, I was trying to get those bonuses. So I did it pretty quickly, and I was able to move up 3 levels. And then I decided to take some time off of my business to go abroad. It was really simple. You can't buy into my company. I'm trying to think of like some of the research that I did about other companies. You can't buy into my company. Once you reach a level, no matter what happens, you stay at that level. And then you don't make money off of like bringing on like new people or anything. The only stream of income that we have is when product is sold.
And I know you and I had a conversation about how that's not what your company is doing in any way. They're not using these uncertain times to try to reel people in. So I'd like to hear more about what the bringing people in looks like, like since your company structure is so different, and then also like how has it changed during this time?
Right around, when everything was unfolding, we got a video from our company, and it just said, hey, you are not to use what is going on as a platform for the product, the business. And so for us, we're already in the wellness field. And so they said, stay in your lane, do exactly what you were doing before. And there was nothing else to it, because again, for us, it's just what we were already doing. As for bringing on new people, again, it was the same thing with the product as it was for the business. Stay in your lane, do what you were doing before, but that is not a platform that you are allowed to use. And the company was very insistent about that. And I actually do know a friend from another company who got a similar message from their company as well, saying the exact same thing. We aren't all the same. I can guarantee that. Something that my company did, which was super awesome, just because a lot of people were or are out of work, including myself, was if you were to bring on a new rep, they eliminated for 2 days. So there was like a 2-day window that you could bring on a new person, and they eliminated the startup fee for the year. So that $52 fee, they eliminated it completely for the year. And then they increased the bonuses, about $100 a bonus.
What you're saying is that you don't make like a commission necessarily off of bringing people on. Like you said that earlier, I just want to make sure that I'm clarifying that. When it comes to bringing people into the business, are you like, how does it work? Like you talked about how you bring them on, but do you make commission off of them, or do you need to have a certain number of people under you to keep yourself going?
Yeah, so to move up to different levels, like once you start getting higher up, to move up different levels, you do have to bring on reps. You don't make money for bringing them into the business, but you also will, like, if they hit a bonus, they get that amount and you also get that bonus amount as well. Okay. And so it's just more of like an incentive to get your new rep moving along the way.
Right. In the structure that I have been in previously, it was like if you didn't have the right amount of people under you, you drop. And now you were saying that like you don't lose your status with the company.
When I left the country, my team kind of fell apart. Everybody was at like a crazy level. And so right now I have one person under me and I'm still at that same level. So all of that work that I initially did paid off in the aspect of it keeps me at that level. And so even if I had 0 customers and 0 reps under me, I would stay at that level. So when I decided to come back in the business, I would be making the top commission level and getting the extra, like they pay you for extra things once you reach higher up in the company.
Okay. So there are 2 sides to this story. My goal here was to figure out, is it everybody? Or is it just the certain few MLMs that are so much louder than the rest? From what I gather, the ones that are the loudest are gonna be Mary Kay, Amway, Arbonne. I'll probably list a few others that tend to be the very loudest. There are other MLMs that you haven't really heard of that don't specifically prey as much or they aren't as loud all over social media about it. Doesn't mean that you should be involved with them, but there are different levels. What I will say is that it's really important for you to do your research, but don't just watch this YouTube video and think you know everything about MLMs. There is so much more. I have barely even scratched the scratch of the surface. As always, I am here to share the information with you on both sides so that you can make the right decision for you and for your family. As of the filming of this video, I have seen both sides of the situation. I still cannot recommend this as a viable investment for you to start a business. I'm still waiting for someone to change my mind. Before you go, share this video with the young adults in your life and anyone in any of the groups that I mentioned who might be cornered by an MLM at some point. We want you to be prepared with information so that you know, hey, this is a good decision for me. Hey, this is not a good decision for me. Usually it's not a good decision for you. Just saying, offering my advice. And until next time, stay hydrated, sis. I'm like shaking. Oh. 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 Ooh. So angry.
Yeah.
Oh. Shaking.